Welcome everyone to our webinar on SEO blogging and how to hook your audience. So today we're going to give you a ton of information. This is our second in a series of three webinars on SEO. So the first one was kind of like SEO basics, just to set the foundation and walk you through why SEO is important and the key elements that are at play. This is our second in our webinar series of 3 SEO webinars. This is on blogging for SEO, because blogging for SEO is one of the more critical things that you can do. And then our third webinar in the series will be probably sometime in the third or fourth quarter. And that's going to go into some more advanced steps on how to do SEO. So before we begin the webinar, some best practices. If you have a question for us during the webinar, just make sure that you ask the question in the Q&A option. So you'll see a chat option and a Q&A option. If it's a question that you would like answered about the topic that we're presenting, please post that in Q&A. It's just easier for us to keep track of those questions to make sure that we answer everything. If you just want to have a conversation and chit chat while we're presenting, you can do that in webinar chat. That's totally fine. If you do have to leave early today, not a problem. We will be sending out the replay to this webinar along with all of the resources we promised you tomorrow at around 11 o'clock
11 o'clock.
in the morning Eastern. And there's a lot of good stuff coming your way so that you can actually do everything we're presenting to you today on your own in 3 hours or less for the entire year. So that's what we're going to focus on today and show you how to do that. If you stay till the end of the webinar, we've got some AR swag to give away. This is what you'll be getting. And I don't know if you guys have caught on, but every single webinar, we do a giveaway at the end. We ask a fun question, and the first 3 people to give us a correct answer receive our swag giveaway. But the one thing is that each month, the swag is different. It has like a little different element because it's a webinar series swag, but it has a little different element in the design. And this time it's got a nice little Captain Hook, I guess, right? What is it? Yeah. Is that what it's called, Ian?
And yeah, we have Greg Daniel. He was our winner last webinar. So hey, you have a chance to win a second one. I mean, you
That's
might be the
right.
first to own 2.
That's
So
right.
get your fingers ready to type at the end of the webinar. We'll be having that quiz at the end.
That's right. Yep. You got to be fast. All right. So here's our agenda: the basics of blogging, how to create a blog strategy, how to build a content calendar, how to write your first blog, how to measure success, and then we'll go into questions and answers. So a little bit about who we are as Agency Revolution. And for some of you, you may have been a client of ours for years and you know exactly, everything you need to know about us. But for some of you, you're just, here for the first time, or maybe you're not a client yet. So we just wanted to give you a little bit of information on who we are. At Agency Revolution, we help insurance agencies increase retention, grow their book of business, and create operational efficiencies through our insurance marketing platform. We were founded in 2012. We were actually the first in this space in terms of having an insurance marketing and marketing automation platform. We have over 3,000 agency clients with us today. Believe it or not, we have 100% client satisfaction rating based on all of our surveys that we receive from clients for any support related inquiries. It's actually 99.9, but I did round up. Okay.
That's all right. You can round up.
But actually, if you base it on all of 2024, it was at a 99.9%, which rounds up to 100. And this year we're on track for the same thing. So what I want to make clear here is if you're working with us, chances are you're very happy. We have a really great team that's led by Kayla Miat-Ved, and on the onboarding side, Rose Hayes, and they really take taking care of our clients seriously. We have 200 plus 5-star Google ratings and reviews. So if you're not sure that my 100% customer satisfaction is true, you can check out the Google reviews, and that's not biased because we don't post those, right? Our clients do. We are a complete insurance marketing platform. So it's an all-in-one solution where you log into one dashboard and everything that you need, all of your tools are there. We do have deep AMS integration, meaning that we're actually connected to your management system in a way where we could pull in data and trigger communications based on that key data. And we have great innovative AI marketing tools. So that's a little bit about us. But what do? We touched on that a little bit. So we have a complete insurance marketing platform. The first component of our platform is our Fuse marketing automation piece of the platform, which includes that true AMS connection that I just talked about so that you could send that timely communication to your clients, right? So, for example, if somebody's up for renewal, the data that's pulling in from your AMS can trigger that renewal is coming up so many days ahead of the renewal, and then we can automate sending the communication to that client that's up for renewal to make your life a lot easier. We also handle insurance websites as part of our insurance marketing platform, and these are built fully customized to each agency. And they come with sales and service tools like video proposals and clickable coverage, which are interactive graphics that help educate people about different insurance coverages. And then we have add-ons that you can add on to either the website piece of our platform or the marketing automation piece of our platform, like business texting, do it for me marketing, local listings, which help with SEO, reputation management, which helps with SEO, and social media. So together, we combine that marketing automation, the world-class websites, the powerful marketing tools so that you can grow your business and so that we can help you grow your business. So that's what we do. Your hosts, I'm Monica Barraquette, VP of Operations at Agency Revolution, and I handle client and marketing operations here. That's me and my mom at Longwood Gardens. In May, we celebrated Mother's Day there, and I haven't taken any new photos since then, so that's why I'm not. I didn't update this photo. I usually try to do a different one each month. Ian, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Hey everyone. You've probably seen me around before. I've been here about 6 years. I'm the manager of demand generation. So I handle a lot of stuff on the marketing side. If you've, you know, seen some communications, it might have been from Jolene and I. So I appreciate you joining this webinar. And if you couldn't tell, I got the same shirt on as I do in this picture. So this is from my favorite board game, and I would say it's pirate adjacent. It's adventure themed. Fireball Island. You might have heard of it in the 80s, but they actually did the board game maybe 5, 6 years ago, and I got to actually play test it before they released the actual game. And I kind of broke the game, and I won by a long shot because I played this one crazy card. So they did change the rules a little bit after that game, I'm sure, uh, so that you can't just like steamroll everyone. But yeah, it's been a fun game that has been in my family for years that we've just always played. So and I wanted to bring a little bit of the adventure theme today because we're talking
That's
about
right.
we have the pirate theme going. We have to, I'm not wearing a pirate hat. Chorley on our team, he would, but I can't go that far. Sorry about that.
And you're always on theme one way or another. And if you didn't
Trying.
hear me say this when there were fewer of you signed on before we kicked off the webinar, Ian is our in-house SEO and paid advertising expert. Like if I have a question, if I need anything done in those two areas, Ian's my go-to. He did all the behind the scenes work on the Forge platform in terms of SEO optimization. So this is the
Hmm.
guy that you want to hear from when talking about SEO because he knows his stuff is but he also has a really great way of explaining it in a way that you can understand it, right? Because it can get technical. So great to have you here with us, Ian. So
Hmm.
this is let's get into the first topic that we're talking about, and that's the basics of blogging. So why does blogging matter, right? We kind of covered this in our foundations webinar, the first of the three in the series, that blogging is really important to the SEO game because when you're thinking about the SEO game, there's a lot of things you can control, like good content, consistent good content on your website. And then there's a lot of things you can't control, like how old your domain name is, right? So there's factors you can control and factors you can't control. Blogging is one of the things you can control, putting out good content that is SEO friendly can really be a game changer in terms of your agency showing up and in Google search results. And especially these days, it's more important than ever because I don't know how many of you have Googled recently, but if you go on Google and you type in a question, usually what happens is Google has an AI summary for you at
Hmm.
the very top where they're answering your question before you even scroll down the page. And they're answering your question based on a collection of articles that they've pulled, blog articles usually, that they've pulled that they think have good information that answers that question. And then they link those articles so that you can reference them if you want a deeper dive. So now more than ever, good SEO focused blog content is very important to ensure that not only are you showing up in Google search on page 1, for example, for a specific topic, but that you're showing up in that AI summary, which is the zero click option basically, which is sort of what is the term for it, Ian? Generative search.
Generative search, yeah. And it's really cool because a lot of the content you might already have on your website, plus the content that you're going to be writing, whether it's through blogging or additional pages, you have the potential to show up in these AI searches, and that could give you brand awareness and also show you as an expert in that arena where they might be like, oh, I'm asking this question about insurance. Hey, you're giving me some great information here in that result. Let me click in, let me read your blog, and maybe they go a few levels deeper and end up getting a quote with you or something. So it
Mhm.
all adds up to you being able to just show yourself as that expert in the industry, especially for your niche market that you might serve.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not just going to talk philosophy and theory here in this webinar. We're actually going to show you exactly how to do this. We're going to tell you how long it'll take you to do it for the whole 12 months. And we're going to prove it to you. And then you're going to get resources so that you can get it done by yourself once you get off this webinar. So, SEO blogging, creating a strategy for your SEO blogging. Uh, Ian, walk us
Yeah.
through this one.
All
Identify
right.
your blogging focus as your first step.
Sure. Well, the first thing I want to say is this whole step that we're going to go through for creating a strategy, we're estimating it's going to take about 25, 30 minutes. So keep that in mind. We're going to kind of walk through each of these stages and tell you, here's how long we estimate it'll take you. That's where we're kind of coming up with that number of under 3 hours. You can literally get your entire SEO blogging strategy done, topics that you want to post about, and the topics that you're going to write and publish to your website for the whole
Oh,
year.
good point, Ian. So actually
Yeah.
it's 20, I think I have 25 minutes on
Yeah.
here. So
25.
this whole section, that's good because I skipped over it. This whole section of creating an SEO blogging strategy in real time, if you do this while following our instructions, is going to take 25 minutes total. Good point.
Unless you're
Good
slow
call
like
out.
me, then it might take a little longer, but that's
Maybe
okay.
26 minutes. All right.
Right. All
So
right.
walk us
So
through step 1.
yeah, so step one is identify your blogging focus. So you want to start with a local SEO strategy to reach potential clients in your area before you branch out. So this is the first piece, and it's very easy. Where is your office located, and the communities that you serve? So most agencies, I'm sure you have a physical office, and even if you don't, you're still located in a certain area that you want to target. So for our example here, we're going to say Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's kind of in between Monica and I. I chose that. So that's going to be where our fake office is today as we go through some of these examples here. So who do you serve? This is where you want to
And
start.
And Ian, sorry to cut you off. It's really important to not just do state, right? Like you don't want to
Hmm.
just say Pennsylvania or Kentucky or California. You really need to drill down to the city and state or to the area. Like sometimes in our area, we have a Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton. These three cities are rolled into the Lehigh Valley. So it's like a geographical area called the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. So you can target something like that, like a tri-state area, or a Lehigh Valley area or something like that, or a specific city like Allentown, Pennsylvania. But it's really important to start that narrow
Hmm.
because it's very hard to rank for anything if you go statewide or nationwide, especially as you're getting started.
Right. Yeah. This is just the beginning stages. So getting you off to a great start. You can expand eventually, but we do recommend that you start with your geographical location. So then you want to dig into what do you offer? What sets your agency apart? What do you specialize in? What's your bread and butter? So maybe it's trucking insurance. Maybe it's, home and auto bundled is what you really focus on providing. Maybe it's commercial lines. Really want to narrow down a niche market and pick one thing as your goal. What do you want to rank for in Google and other search engines?
We
Um,
have a question, Ian. What if you have multiple locations across multiple states and cities? Really great question. The answer to this really depends on your resources, the internal resources that you have and financial resources that you have. My recommendation to any agency is always start with one and then grow from there. So if you have three locations, in three different states, begin with one, work on that for 6 to 12 months until you start to see traction, and then move on to the next one. Kind of add it to your portfolio, move on to the next one, work on that 6 to 12 months, and then work on the next one. SEO is a long game. It's not a short, magical, easy button fix game. However, if you have unlimited resources at your agency and a full marketing team, or you have a lot of funds that you could throw towards, SEO work, sure, you can work on all of them at the same time, and you could take this strategy and just replicate it for each location and um, uh, coverage focus that you want to target. So if you want to multiply it by 10 and just go full blast on all 10 of them, you can, but it's going to take some resources in order to make that happen, which is why we always say start with one.
Yeah, and it just makes it easier for yourself, especially if you're just starting out, to have that singular focus. Hey, this is my niche market. This is the area I really want to get more traction in. Because maybe you're seeing, oh, yeah, I'm not getting as much traffic to my website or as many clients from this area. I just want to focus on this first, and then you can grow and expand, like Monica said.
Yep.
So then what we want to do after you've identified that, again, that's a quick and easy step. You should know where you're located and then just think through what sets your agency apart. What is like a target insurance coverage that you really want to narrow down on. Then we're going to go into keyword research. Now, this is something that could be and feel scary, but what you want to do is actually combine the two focuses that we just talked about. So in our case, we're going to combine Allentown, Pennsylvania, and we're going to combine renters insurance, which was our example. And that's going to be your focus keyword. But what we're going to do is actually show you how you can use a keyword research tool to dig in and get some search terms to help you branch out your SEO blogging strategy. So there's lots of tools out there. We're going to show you how to use one free option, but there's many more out there. You can get more advanced with it. We just wanted something that any one of you could go in today, go to this website and go ahead and start doing this keyword research and follow this process. That's how easy this can be.
And the
So
tool
we've got our
is it's
tool.
it's typed out here, keywordtool.io. That's what it is. It's keyword keywordtool.io is the website for the free tool that Ian is talking about.
Yep. And then what you want to do, and we're going to show you all this in just a second, so don't worry. But you're going to go ahead and enter your target keyword. So that's going to be, again, who you serve and what you offer. So in our case, renters insurance in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And last but not least, you're going to go through the list of search terms that you see that are related to your keyword. You'll see how this works in a little bit when we're writing up the blog topics and the blog articles, because if if you remember what we just talked about, the generative AI and also Google is looking for different trends and searches that people are looking for in your area in specific that you could really leverage because you can see, oh, we have lots of people talking about this topic that's related to your keyword. Let's write some blogs about that, and that's going to help you show up in the search engine rankings. So in our case, we'll walk you through how to use this tool. So
You want
we'll
to get
go through a
started?
little walkthrough here. Yeah. So this is the keyword tool that we're showing you. Again, this is free. You can use any tool out there. We just found this one online, and it's really a great way to get started. So we're going to go ahead and type in our keyword, which is renters insurance, Allentown, Pennsylvania. The cool thing about this is that it actually localizes the options because I can select Allentown, Pennsylvania, but you would obviously put your own keyword, you would put your own location, and then you would click search. Now, what you're going to see is a section for questions, and these are search queries that people in your area, in our case in Allentown, Pennsylvania, are searching for that are related to our keyword, which is renters insurance. So we're going to go through here and pick a few subjects that seem relevant and related to our keyword. So we have, is renter's insurance required? How much is renter's insurance in Pennsylvania? What does renter's insurance cover? Which renter's insurance should I get? And why is it important? These are things that are going to feed into our topics later on. So that is why we're doing this research, because again, this is following the trends of recent searches in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And what you're going to be able to do is actually plug in those search terms in the resource that we're going to give you tomorrow in the giveaway. So you'll have this entire guide that you can use to do your keyword research. It's going to go a long way to making sure you can set up your blogging strategy for success.
Awesome. All right. So now step 3 as part of this first section. So again, just a reminder, this entire thing that we're showing you, step 1, 2, and now 3, this is only going to take you 25 minutes tops to do this. We tested it and timed it.
Yeah, so what you want to do next is create your blogging schedule. And you want to think of it in a few ways, but the first thing I always want to bring up is that how often do you want to commit to blogging, especially about this specific topic? Because if you do have a blog, maybe you're posting about, community service that your team did, maybe there's like a local event that you want to write a little blog article, maybe there's some news, maybe you're just also writing blog articles about insurance in general and giving advice. Well, you want to take SEO blogging as part of that strategy and kind of intersperse it in between those other valuable informational blogs that you're publishing just to have some variety. In this case, we're going to say we want to focus on every month at least, we want to have one of these SEO related blogs going out. So that's typically what we would see and recommend as a monthly blog. But as Monica said, if you have more resources, if you want to, focus in on posting more blogs, you can go for it. But the key thing to remember here is quality over quantity
And
because
consistency.
and consistency. So that's why we've created a calendar for you to be able to use. We'll show you in a second that you're able to map out how often you can blog, and you can start with something simple. So again, we're going to give you this resource, but having things like the date, the topic, summary, focus keyword, and search term, this will help you organize your blogging strategy. So let's go to the next slide, Monica, and we'll show you exactly what this looks like.
Sounds
So
good.
we've created this for you, but obviously if you want to make your own in the future, you could kind of follow the same premise. But as you can see, we have our blogging content calendar, we have the date, and you can fill in all the different dates that you would choose to publish. In our case, in our example here, I just did the second Monday of every month. Again, like Monica said, you want to keep consistent with your blogging schedule. And the easiest part about that is, hey, what if I post, in our case, every second Monday of the month? Makes it nice and easy, especially when you're scheduling it out. And that way you know what to expect if you are publishing a blog, especially for the teams that are involved in doing that, like whether it's your web team publishing it for you. But then we have the topic. That's going to be where you're going to plug in your blog article's title, what it's going to be about. And then you have the summary, which goes into even a little more detail of what that blog is going to be about. And these things are going to actually be created with AI, which we'll show you real soon. But then we have the focus keyword and we have the search term. So your focus keyword, like we talked about, is going to be the same throughout all of these, in our case, 12 blogs. So it's going to be renter's insurance, Allentown, Pennsylvania. The search terms, part of that is going to be what we've researched, and part of that is going to be what AI is going to help us to come up with some search terms related to our blog topic ideas. And what this will do for you is give you an entire year's worth of content to write about for your SEO topic. So it makes it nice and easy for you. And again, we've laid it out for you. So all you have to do is go ahead and first step, plug in the dates after you've determined, yep, I want to publish a blog for this topic or for this keyword every month. And you can do so right here.
Yeah, because remember, we're still talking strategy now, right? We are in the first segment of this, and that's creating a blogging strategy. So that's why Ian is walking you through setting everything up, because you only have to do that setup one time per year, right? Just set everything up. So we're not filling this in yet. We're just creating the structure and deciding how often do we want to blog, which in this case, we're doing once a month. And what's the keyword, So we're doing all of the foundational work. So then what's the last piece, Ian, in this segment?
All right, the last step here, and it's actually pretty fun because you can really focus on making your blog articles personal by not only making them consistent, but having that brand and that tone of voice that you use that people have come to recognize when they work with you. So if you're an agency in a small town working with personal lines clients most of the time, you probably have a more friendly, warm, and welcoming approach versus if you're in a big city, maybe you focus on commercial lines clients and selling to them, the businesses every day. You might have a more professional, more formal tone to the way that you communicate with them. So this part is key because you can actually narrow down the options, select the tone of voice that fits your agency's personality. And in the guide that we're going to be giving you, we're going to give you multiple options that you can kind of pick and choose and put them together and see what works and how can you build your brand identity from the ground floor up. So you can use this for all of your blogs moving forward. You can also use it in other aspects, like if you're updating a website page, maybe you're getting a new website and publishing that, you can really make sure everything that you're doing, emails included, social posts, because you want to tie everything together. And blogging is just one way to do that. But let's jump in and show you exactly how to come up with your tone of voice if you're having trouble with it. So in our case here, we're going to jump into Agents Revolution's platform, and we're going to show you with our Sidekick AI assistant, ask it a few questions and say, hey, I'm looking to write up a blog introduction for my agency. Can you give me a version of this introduction where the tone is friendly, informal, and informative? So we can ask AI, and you can use any AI tool out there to do this, but we're just going to use ours to show you how quickly and easily this works. It's going to write up a little snippet here, and right away we get a response. And this will be kind of like, think of it as like a little introduction, but also a way to just read it and be like, does this sound like your agency, right? So this one's nestled in the heart of Allentown, Pennsylvania. F3 Agency is your go-to for all things renters insurance. So it's like you can right away tell, yeah, that sounds like me, or that's too fancy. That's too many frills. But we can run through a few more here. So we have one that's a funny, conversational, and informal tone.
This is my favorite.
This one's pretty fun. This is the one I would choose if I had an agency. So welcome to F3 Agency, where we make renters insurance as exciting as finding a $20 bill in your jacket pocket. You got that, you get the little humor there, but that might not be for everyone. So let's do one more. Let's say you're very professional, very prim and proper. So we're going to use formal, persuasive, and authoritative. Maybe you work with a lot of commercial agencies. In the ever-evolving landscape of insurance, F3 Agency stands out as a beacon of reliability and expertise. So you can see just from these examples, and you can kind of plug these into your AI tool, or you can kind of just generally know, like, yeah, if I say formal, persuasive, authoritative, that tone is going to be completely different from a funny conversational one. But it's
Yeah.
key because you can really personalize the blogs that you do, even if you're using AI, which we'll show you how to do that in this webinar. It still personalizes to your agency because you're choosing that tone of voice ahead of time. That's why this is key.
And because you have the prompts that we're going to give you. So
Hmm.
remember, AI is only as good as what you input into it, right? The prompt that you input AI, what you get back is only as good as what you put in. So if you minimal effort, you're probably going to get back really generic AI sounding stuff. But if you put in some work into it, and in this case, we've done the work for you by creating this prompt, is going to give you really good results that are going to be very close to what you're going to go with. Maybe some tweaking will be required. So just
Hmm.
to recap what Ian said quickly, what he was showing you in this video, Sidekick is an AI assistant built into Agency Revolution's insurance marketing platform. It's available if you have a website with us. It's available if you have our marketing automation product, Fuse. It's just available as part of the all-in-one platform. But you can use the same approach on chat gpt. If you're not a client of ours and you want to replicate the strategy, you could use the same approach on chat gpt. The big difference between Sidekick, which is built into our platform, and chat gpt is that Sidekick has the context of you being an independent insurance agency. We built all of that into our tool, so our
Hmm.
prompting could be a lot more minimal because because it already knows that you're an independent insurance agency and all of the things that are important to you, versus Chat GPT, you kind of have to train it.
And the good thing
Okay?
is we did keep that in mind. So if you are using a different AI tool and you're not using our platform, that's totally fine. Our prompt should give you enough of that context. But like Monica said, it's super easy that you could just type in a few words of your ideas, whether you're doing a blog or anything else, into our system, and it could do it for you because it's like, okay, I know this, and this about you just by default. It has that information in mind, and it's continuing to evolve because if you offer feedback to the system, it learns more, and it only gets better with time.
Yep.
So that's a
And
great
Tammy,
point.
no, Sidekick, there is no cost for Sidekick. It's already included with the product. And Ian, I know Melissa has a question about the keyword research tool. So we can tackle that in a little bit, Melissa, just so that we can move on to the next segments, but we'll definitely answer your question. Don't worry about that. All right, so now that completed the first segment, which was developing an SEO blogging strategy, which again, in real time, that is supposed to take you about 25 minutes. So now we're going to move on to the second segment of this webinar, which is building a content calendar. And this segment is going to be in real time, take you 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, we're saying that you are going to be able to set up a year's worth of blog content topics, so that you could plan ahead. So a year's worth, we're talking about one per month, right? So that would be 12 topics, blog topic ideas that you could use AI to help you plan based on the prompt that we have put together for you. So again, 10
Mhm.
minutes in real time using the guide that you're going to receive after this webinar. All right,
Yeah,
so
for
step
sure.
one.
So the first step is use AI to create your blog topic ideas. So we can use all the information that we've already gathered in your blogging strategy, and we can plug that into a simple to use AI prompt that'll help you generate these topic ideas. So you want to first prompt it. So again, using your AI tool of choice, you're going to plug in the AI prompt that we're going to give you after the webinar today, and it'll help you come up with those ideas. Then you want to refine it. So if you get the results back and you see your 12 topics, and maybe some of them might not be exactly what you're feeling, you're not liking all of them, you can refine it. You can ask your AI tool, hey, these three options I don't like, but I like these other five. Can you give me more examples like this? You can refine it to your taste, and then you want to finalize. So you're going to easily be able to, after you get your results, simply copy and paste the topic, the summary, and the search term and the keyword right into your worksheet, nice and easy. And you'll have that entire year's worth of content mapped out for yourself. So,
All right, so we're going to show
yeah,
you how to do this, right?
we'll show you how this works. So here is a sneak preview of what you're going to get tomorrow. Here is the AI prompt for generating blog topic ideas. So as the prompt says, you're going to copy and paste this into your AI tool of choice. You will have a few instructions. It'll be listed your instructions, of course. But there's a few things that you will need to fill out. The good news is all of it is going to be directly pulled from your blogging strategy that we've already completed. So agency name, easy, you know that, hopefully. And then you have your target audience, number of topics, search terms. But we're going to go ahead and copy this in. And again, we're going to use our Sidekick AI assistant yet again, just to show you how this works. But again, remember, you can use any AI tool of your choice to plug this information in. You're going to paste the prompt and then go up to the section where it says your instructions. So this is where you're going to basically copy and paste everything from your worksheet into Sidekick or your AI tool.
And
So
this is to
again, we have
customize the prompt basically
this
for
will
your agency. Yep.
yeah, and this is what's going to give you the edge because you're customizing it to your needs, and the topics are going to be related on that. So we have your agency name, your target location, number of topics, 12, of course, because in our example, we're going to do one a month. So that's 12 topics. And then we're going to go up to and we can go to our worksheet here, and we are going to grab our focus keyword. So again, ours example is renters insurance, Allentown, Pennsylvania. We'll go ahead and copy and paste that in here. And then we have our list of search terms. So again, this is what we did the research for earlier, where we found those related search queries. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these as well. And then we'll paste that into the prompt. As you can see, when you do that legwork, that 25 minutes early, you can just go ahead and knock this out in no time. So we have our search terms in there, and we also have our target audience already built in, but feel free to tweak anything else under your instructions. If you have any more details, go for it. But the prompt will, as you can see, start creating some topic ideas for us in literal seconds. It's pretty crazy. And at the very least, if you don't like some of these, like I said, you can refine it and ask, hey, can you give me more ideas? But sometimes it'll just spark an idea like, I like that, but what if I tell AI, hey, I have this idea now. Can you come up with a topic for that? So this really makes it easy for you to at least get the ball rolling, and you can start. So what's going to do is map out what's the title, what's the summary, and what's the related search term for each of our blog topic ideas. And of course, all
And
of
as a
yours will be.
reminder, Ian, these are all about renters insurance
Mhm.
in Allentown, Pennsylvania, because that's what our SEO blogging strategy is
Yep,
set
and it's
towards.
and it's fine-tuned to the keyword research we did, so it kind of understands what are people in our area searching for. So we have an example here, is renters insurance required in Allentown, Pennsylvania? And then we can go ahead and plug in the summary, the topic, the keyword, and then the search terms. It's that easy, and the prompt will put it out in such a nice way for you that you can easily see where each of those are to copy and paste. So obviously, you'll just need to do this 12 times over. And if you do need to refine it, that's where we kind of added in that extra buffer time of 10 minutes. But as you can see, it really only takes a few seconds. And then the majority of the time is reading through it, refining, and making sure, yeah, these topics are good. Maybe you can kind of pick and choose where they go throughout the year. Because you could always ask your AI tool, hey, I want something that's good around like maybe the holiday season or summertime and really refine it that way. But as you can see, it's nice and easy to get everything set up here. This is an example of a completed year's worth of blog content for your SEO strategy. So,
Love that. Makes it super easy. And this is just, oops, I don't know what happened there. This is just another screenshot of what that should look like. So in this segment of creating your blog topics, right, for your SEO blog topics, Ian just walked you through an example of putting that prompt in, that prompt spitting out results for all 12 blog topics for a full year's worth of blogging. And then the work really is just copying and pasting that information into your little content calendar here that we've prepared for you. So you'll have this in your packet so that you know exactly what you're posting, when you're posting it, and what that target is. So super easy. And this entire thing takes you 10 minutes in real time, give or take a few, depending on how slow you are at copying and pasting or how fast you are.
yeah, if you couldn't tell when I was doing the video, I did have to pause it because otherwise we would still be watching my video of me copying and pasting it. But that's just because I'm slow. I use a mouse still. I know some people
Yeah,
don't use
you do
mouse
still use a
buttons,
mouse.
but
That's hilarious, actually.
it is
But
what it is.
whatever your preference is, it doesn't matter, right? All right.
Right.
So the next segment that we're talking about is writing your first blog article. So now you have your strategy for SEO blogging. You have created a schedule for all 12 months worth of blog topics around that SEO blogging strategy. And now we're going to show you how easy it is to use AI to write your first blog article. And from beginning to end, it's going to take you no more than 10 minutes. I would say it's going to take you a lot less, but let's just go
It
with 10 minutes just to be
I yeah,
really, really on the
we
extra
wanted to give you a
cautious side.
buffer. Yeah, so and this will be per blog. So, give or
Mhm.
take 5 to 10 minutes per blog that you're writing. With the help of AI. But that's the core thing here because if you add all the time up that we spent so far, it's about 145 minutes. So a little over 2 hours, you can literally do a year's worth of SEO blog content
Mhm.
for your topic. So step one, let's set up our AI prompt. So we do have another AI prompt for you to use in the resource, but you're going to use your content calendar and then select one of your blog topics from that list that you want to write next. So obviously it'll probably be the first one on the list, right? Then you want to prompt. So you want to plug in the blogging for SEO AI prompt template into the AI tool of your choice. And then you want to customize. So you're going to plug in the different details that are listed under your instructions. This will personalize the blog article to your agency for what you're looking for.
And we're
So
going to show
let's,
you how to do this, but we just want to walk you through the steps first.
yeah. So then we're going to generate the blog post with AI. So you're going to prompt it in your AI tool, and it's going to start spitting out that blog article based on your prompt. You're going to review it. So you can read through, you definitely want to read through the blog article just to make sure it sounds right. You can obviously make changes to it. At very least, it'll get you started on your blog. At the very most, it will be your blog and you maybe just make a few tweaks and you're good to go. But you want to always review and make sure it matches your needs. Then when you're good with it, you can publish it. So whether that, if you're using Agents Revolution, it's very easy to generate and publish it right on your own. It's very simple. Or if you have a website provider and you just want to send them the blog, you can do so as well and say, hey, can you publish this blog for me on this date? And then you can kind of keep the motion moving forward. But we'll show you how
So we're going
simple
to
this
show you,
is.
right? All right.
Yeah, so we're
Walk us
gonna go
through it.
ahead and start with our blogging content calendar that we just completed. So we're gonna pick one of our topics here. In our case, I'm feeling a little fun today. So we're gonna do the top 5 myths about renters insurance as our topic. So you're gonna find that on our list here. And what you're gonna do is copy everything over in our prompt. But to write our top 5 myths blog, we're going to go into our Agents Revolution platform, and we're going to go into our other AI tool, which is called First Draft, to write it. So if you have a Forge Insurance website with us, you can access this too. And what we're going to do is click Add Blog Post and click Use First Draft. This is our AI tool that will write it for you. And as you
And,
can see,
and like Ian said, if you don't, then you could use Chat GPT or whatever your
mhm.
tool is, and then just sort of replicate this process.
Of course. And so in our case here, we're going to go ahead and plug in our prompt. So again, we have all of our content ready to go. So let's go down to our second prompt, which is our AI prompt for writing blog articles. Again, much like the same as the other prompt, you will have a few instructions here, but the good news is you've done all of your homework. You've created your blogging strategy. You have your topics. So all you need to do is at this point, copy and paste. It's as easy as that. So we're going to copy our AI prompt here. And in our case, we're going to plug it into First Draft, or in your case, you could plug it into any AI tool of your choice. So we're going to go up to the top here and find our instructions. And you'll see we have a few things that we do need to fill in. So we have our blog topic as our first order of business. So we'll go back to our worksheet and then go up to our blogging content calendar that we've created. And like I said, I want to do the top 5 myths about renters insurance. Just I like that. I like the title. It's very fun. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that from the content calendar that we made here. And then we'll go back to our AI tool and plug that in. And then the next thing we need is the blog summary. Well, we have that too, thanks to AI helping us out there. So we'll go over to the summary, we'll copy that and paste that in as well. And again, you can see it in real time. Like if you're probably faster at copying and pasting than me. So this will show you can knock this out in no time. Then we have the agency name. Again, hope you know your agency name at this point, but then you have your target area location that you're focusing on. In our case, it's Allentown, Pennsylvania. And then we're going to plug in our target keyword, which we'll pull from our blogging strategy. And then we also have our search term that we want to pull after that. So we have keyword, which is renters insurance, Allentown, Pennsylvania. And then we will go to the next one, which is our search term. So we have renters insurance myths. And that's going to kind of be what's going to give guidance to the AI prompt to write this unique blog for your agency. Then we have our tone
Because
of voice.
the idea here is to not make sure that they don't all sound the same. That's what Ian is doing by selecting the search term and customizing this piece. We're making sure that every one of the 12 blog articles don't sound exactly the same.
100%. So then we're going to grab our tone, which is friendly, informative, and informal. I should have put funny in there, but another day. Article length, this is up to you. We see most blog articles typically around 500 to 1,000 words. You can play around with it. If you want something shorter that's more easy to digest, we're going to go with 500 words in our example here. but feel free to experiment with what works for you. Call to action, we're just going to fill this in. In our case, we're going to say, hey, you can contact our agency to learn more about renter's insurance, so that you're kind of guiding people to read the article and contact you. But you can make the call to action anything you would like. Now, if you are using First Draft, you will notice that some of the questions in the prompt were a little bit redundant in terms of the length of the article and the tone. The purpose of that is, if you're not using First Draft, you can still use these AI prompts to full advantage. But the benefit here is I can just simply swap, oh, I want this article to be medium length or short. I can change the tone between different options before I generate it. So let's click generate. And as you can see, we have a blog in just a few seconds. Top 5 renters insurance myths debunked for Allentown residents. So you can see here we have a nice little blog article written for us. This is the where you would go through and review it and see, hey, does this fit? Is this kind of what I was expecting, what I was looking for? You can go ahead and ask your AI tool and say, hey, you know what? I don't like myth 2 and 3. Can you give me some other options? Maybe you can add your own, inject your own ideas and plug it in, and your AI tool will help you write that. But if you're ready to go, it's like, you know what? Yep, this is great. After reviewing it, after making some tweaks, in our First Draft tool, you can click use as a draft, and it's going to be as simple as 1, 2, 3 to get this published. So in our AI tool, uh, you have the ability to add an image. So if you have something you want to put in there, go for it. Editing your text in First Draft is as simple as editing an email in your inbox. You can change who the author is. So in our case, it's me. Hope you like reading it. We have the published date and time, and then you can actually add categories, add tags to your blogs. And then what we have at the bottom is your SEO title and description. The key point here for that I'll mention is First Draft actually does this for you. So it'll read through your article and determine, based on your keyword, what the SEO title and description should be, so that it will help you rank better. But if you're
This is
not,
huge, by the way. This is huge. The fact that the tool built into Agency Revolution's website platform actually does the SEO piece, the SEO title and description for you, because that's oftentimes the hardest part to figure out. So
but don't worry, the AI prompt does include instructions to the AI tool to give you those. So if you are not using our First Draft, it'll still give you some ideas like, hey, here's a title and description you can use for SEO. So
yeah.
you're covered, but this makes it much, much easier. As you can see, you can do it in just a few minutes.
Yeah, so that was really great. And again, in real time, that's going to take 10 minutes. So if any of you do not have a Forge website with Agency Revolution, feel free to let us know if you would like to chat with our team to learn a little bit more about the Forge website product and how you can use the AI tool within it. So just type in yes into the little short line, and someone on our team will reach out to you. And if you need a little bit more incentive, we are running a promotion in the month of June, and it's only good through the end of June. We have some exclusive pricing. So if you do sign up for our website, or really any new services with us, it'll be 15% off monthly plus 75% off of our setup fees. This is on new subscriptions only. However, if you only have Fuse and you're adding Forge, you could actually bundle the two together and take advantage of extra savings, and
Mhm.
vice versa. Or if you're just adding on an add-on, again, same situation, you still can take advantage of these savings. Again, this is only good through June 30th. And Jolene is going to put a link into the chat room so that you could book a demo anytime before the end of June, so that you could take advantage of this pricing. All right, so Ian, walk us through measuring success. And
Mhm.
this part we didn't time, because this is something that you'll want to do regularly, at least once a month, but I don't think it takes any more than maybe a few minutes each month that you're doing reporting on this stuff. So walk us
Yeah.
through how to get
Yeah,
that done.
so this will be how you can see what are the results of everything that you've done to this point. And we typically recommend about every month or so, at the very least on a quarterly basis, just checking in, where are you ranking for your keywords, and how are your blog articles actually performing? So you can find an SEO ranking tool out there. There's free options. You also have Google Analytics if you want to get more advanced, but we're going to give you a free option that will exactly show you what you need to look for to see, hey, after, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, am I actually improving? Is my website ranking better? So you can identify where your blog article is ranking to measure that success over time. And then improvements. So this is where you want to see, okay, maybe you've been, doing SEO blogging on a particular topic for about, let's say, 6 months, right? And you're not really seeing a noticeable difference, or maybe you are, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm doing really good with this topic. Maybe I want to move over to another topic and start focusing on that as my strategy instead.
Like add it
This will
on,
give,
compound,
Mhm.
compound. Don't replace, right?
You can
Because you
always
want to keep
add
the other one
and
going. Just add on to it. Yeah.
yeah, you want to see that success before you branch out. Again, that's why at the beginning of this we said don't put all your eggs in too many baskets. You want to focus on one subject and ranking really well for one thing before you branch out because you'll have that stability in place already. But we're
Yeah.
going to show you how to use a free tool here. This one's called SEO Mater, and it's going to allow you to do two cool things. So the first thing that's going to do is allow you to see where your website is ranking for a particular keyword. So where does it show up when you type it into Google? So I'm going to plug in a keyword here. We're going to do Bethlehem, Pennsylvania auto insurance. I'm going to plug in YMI agency, which is actually a local business down the street. And they actually do have Ford's website with us, which is really cool.
They've been with us for
Um,
a long time.
mhm.
They're
So
great.
we're going to go ahead and check where are they ranking in general. And as you can see, they're showing up third after State Farm and Nationwide, which, as you guys probably know, that's pretty tough to get up there. But
Yes.
they're ranked three for that particular search of auto insurance in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is really good. The other cool thing you can do with this tool is enter in your blog article so you can directly say, hey, grab your link to your blog. In this case, we're going to do a blog from Hometown Insurance Center. They also are a client of ours, and we're going to type in a keyword. So in this case, you would plug in your keyword that you're trying to target. So they have a really good blog article about logger broad form coverage. And as you can see, they're showing up in second place, which is insane. But it'll show you over time, maybe you're ranked 20, and then the next month you check it, maybe you're 15. You're slowly, incrementally moving up in your rankings. But you can use this tool to not only check your website in general with your keyword, but also you can look individually at the ranking of those individual blogs that you're publishing to see and track and measure your success. Again, that's key because you want to see, is what you're doing working? As with everything, lean into what is working and put a focus on that, and stuff that isn't working, maybe you need to reevaluate, maybe change up your strategy. But this is a great way. That's a free tool. There's lots of other things that you can use. Like Google Analytics, like I said, is a bit more advanced and it might be a little bit of scary of a concept. So this is a great way to just track your results.
Yeah, and I mean, it's as simple as just putting together a little spreadsheet with the keywords that you're targeting, and then just doing, 12 months worth of columns and just writing down, okay, we are ranked fourth, fifth, 10th, whatever, across the
Hmm.
months, and there you go. Now you can watch the progress that you've created with the SEO blogging strategy. So Ian, step two, be patient, adjust, rinse and repeat.
Hmm. Yeah. So as Monica said earlier on, SEO is a bit of a long game, but it is definitely worth doing because in the grand scheme of things, especially in the insurance industry, there's not a lot of insurance agencies out there regularly doing blogging with an SEO focus. So you guys are in for a treat here because we're giving you kind of some secrets behind the scenes that you can use to really set yourself apart. So it takes consistency, it does take time. Typically, SEO experts say about 12 months to see really good results, but in the grand scheme of things, you need to have some kind of SEO strategy working on the background for you. And as we showed you, it takes less than 3 hours to set all this up for yourself that you can kind of get all this done and have it working for you in the background as you're doing other strategies with your website, your social media, email marketing, and such. You want to focus on having a variety. So you want to balance that quality over quantity. and you want to add in content that's nuanced, that's different, so you can kind of, again, intersperse different, whether it's SEO blogging topics as you branch out after you've maybe gone through the full year with your first topic and you want to branch out, you can do more and kind of sprinkle some in. But you want to sprinkle those SEO related blogs with the more personal side. Like maybe you have just sponsored a local charity, you want to write a blog about that. That's amazing. And you want to continually create content through blogging, whether it's with an SEO focus or whether it's just to build up your brand awareness, because all that is going to play hand in hand together. And then you want to have that consistency. So that's why, again, we created that blogging calendar for you to use, or you can make up your own, because you need to consistently blog to show Google and other search engines, hey, I'm providing valuable content that people are coming back to. And that's going to slowly over time raise your rankings for those types of searches.
Ian, and this is what we use at Agency Revolution in terms of our SEO strategy, right? I mean, we have a pretty robust SEO strategy in addition to just having a well-built site with a lot of SEO foundations, just like we built it into the Forge website platform. There's a lot of additional work that we're doing because we are interested in improving our SEO, our organic
Mm-hmm.
search. So this is one of the strategies that Ian uses in order to drive organic traffic to our website. And I forget if you remember these numbers, Ian, because I know Jason, our president, has asked us for these a little while back. Do you remember the percentage of organic traffic that comes to our site? I forget, it was a pretty hefty number. You may not know off the top of your head, which is totally fine, but I feel like it was close to, it was a pretty big chunk of our overall traffic that was coming from organic search, which ties in directly to our SEO
Yeah,
game.
it was whoops.
While you
I,
look at that, I'm going to go into, and then you can kind of let us know what it is. So the webinar resource that Ian was referencing the entire time will help you apply what you've learned in this webinar. And that is going to be coming your way right after the webinar is over. And it's going to be included in the webinar replay tomorrow. The replay email is going to go out tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. So you'll get the replay of this webinar and the SEO blogging resource that Ian and Jolene have put together for you. Ian, you have that number?
yeah, it's 12%
12%. And
for
now
organic search.
organic search. Now that may not sound like a lot, but we have over like what? We have like tens of thousands worth of traffic coming to our site on a monthly basis. The reason it's 12% is because we spend a lot of money on paid advertising on top of just working on our organic search. But 12% is a pretty big chunk in terms of just organic traffic. That does not include like traffic coming from emails, traffic coming from paid advertising, which we spend a lot of time on. So
Social
it's a
media,
really
you got
social
direct search
media.
as well. And
Exactly.
again, yeah, all this goes hand in hand with all of the things that you're doing for your website, for your online presence, are going a long way to getting more traffic to your website, to
Yeah.
getting more brand awareness.
Yeah, and you gotta kind of compile all of those different things into your overall marketing strategy, right? So this organic SEO blogging portion of it is just a little piece of that. All right, time for the giveaway. The
All right,
first three
guys,
to
get
answer
ready.
correctly. Get your fingers ready.
Get your
Remember,
keyboard
this is a
ready.
pirate theme, so you may want to take that into consideration. The first three to answer this question correctly will win that tumbler that we showed you at the beginning with the little hook hand in our webinar series. All right, ready,
All right,
set,
jump into the chat and
jump
we'll
into the
go over the
chat and answer the
question.
question really quickly so that you can be the one of the three. All right, here's the question.
All right,
What kind of animal ate Captain Hook's hand?
see what we got. Whoa, we got lots of answers already. Let's see. I think we have a winner. You guys were too quick. We have now. I can understand the difference between an alligator and a crocodile, but I'm sorry to say that the answer is crocodile. Sorry, Greg. Uh, I, I
We got to go with
we
crocodile. We
gotta go with
can't we
crocodile,
can't let it pass.
that was kind of like the curveball. I figured that would happen.
Yeah.
So
So who are
yeah,
the winners, Ian?
we have Emily Hitchcock, we have Nicholas, and we have Allie with the answer of crocodile. which is
Awesome.
right.
All right. Congrats to all three of you. You will be receiving an email from our team with a link so that you could fill in your address. These tumblers are actually custom made for you. So they're made to ship, basically. So you'll just get a little email from our team with a link to input your address so that we can ship those directly to you. Congratulations. And make sure you tune in for next month's webinar so that you can get the next prize in the series. But do we have any questions? I know we had a question from Melissa, Ian, so let's go back to Melissa's question. But if you have any questions, please post them to the Q&A, or if you want to use web chat, that's okay too. Melissa's question, Ian, was about the keyword research tool,
Keyword
if I
research, yeah.
remember. And she said, mine says Google does not have any questions for my query. Why would that be happening to Melissa, Ian?
Yeah, so you might want to maybe switch up what you're using as your keyword. Maybe it might be too long, it might be too short. But again, just make sure you're plugging in your who you serve, so your area, as well as what you're offering. So that again, that's a free tool. But another way of finding search trends is you could look up Google Trends, which is a website on Google that you can type in. It works similarly, but it'll show you like what are people searching for in your area. The keyword tool we gave you really just makes it localized to where you are. So just make sure that you change the location in there as well, Melissa. But feel free to like tweak
Or maybe your
things.
location is too small. Like maybe you're in a very small town, or maybe you're selecting a very niche keyword. So maybe expand on that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Expand on the location and expand on the keyword to see if you get any results that way. And then just make sure, like Ian said, that you're selecting the actual location from the drop down.
And the cool thing with that tool is that it's kind of pulling from Google autocomplete. So when people are typing in related keywords or searching for related things to your keyword, that's what it's pulling from. So you could even go into the Google search bar, and if you wanted to have some fun, like start typing in, like we could do like renter's insurance, Allentown, Pennsylvania, and it'll the autocomplete options below that. That's what that tool is really pulling from because it's showing what are people in my area searching for related to the subject. So yeah, like Monica said, maybe make some adjustments to it. It is a free tool, so there are others out there. We just wanted to show one that's basically easy to use. With some adjustments, you should be just fine.
And if we have any time after we close out the webinar, we can jump on live on the tool and just kind of play around with it and see if there's anything that we could adjust. But
Mhm.
let's see, are there any other questions? I think
There,
Jolene, you answered a bunch. Go ahead.
um, oh yeah. The only remaining question was from Greg a few minutes ago, and he asked how much is too many as far as blogs go. So I'm assuming that's referring to how many you should be posting per month. But Greg, please correct me if I am wrong.
No, I mean, there's no such thing as too many, I would say, right? But if you're putting out a daily blog article about renters insurance in Allentown, Pennsylvania on your website blog, it just visually might look like too much
Mhm.
and too spammy for someone that like maybe visits your blog page and looks and sees, oh my God, every piece of content is about renters insurance in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So there's no such thing as too much when it comes to the SEO game, because the more good content that's SEO rich that you put out there, the better, and it'll help you with your ranking. But there you have to be careful and make sure that it's quality over quantity, and you're not just spitting stuff out there just because you're trying to game the SEO game, right?
I think
So I think weekly is what I would do at most, but I would make sure if you're doing weekly that you're mixing it up with other content, like Ian said,
mhm.
so that it doesn't seem like you're just being spammy and trying to game the SEO game.
And I would say take a step back, go to your website's blog page, and then like look at it and be like, okay, do I have like three blog articles about the same thing in a row? You might want to disperse some of like more variety. That's where we kind of talked about a few minutes ago. Having a variety in your blogging content is crucial because if someone finds you for one thing, they might go to your blog page and see like, oh, cool, you guys are also talking about this, or oh, I see that you are really invested in your community. You post about your, community sponsorship and stuff like that. So it's nice to have a variety that you can kind of look at your portfolio and say, yeah, this is my focus right now for SEO, but I do have other things that are filtered in there so that I have that approach of I'm subject matter expert in these things.
Yeah, and the other stuff that you're mixing in doesn't necessarily have to be educational or related to insurance. Like Ian said before, you could mix stuff in like, hey, we just did this community event at our
Hmm.
local community park, and we, we do a little paragraph write up with some photos, or maybe you're posting about someone's anniversary, or, maybe some other news happened at your agency. So it could very much be about the agency, behind the scenes of your agency type content that you're mixing in with your
Hmm.
SEO blogs as well. So that'll kind of build that interest.
And Juanita has
Um,
a really good question, I think
yes.
ties in with this. So, do you suggest creating an email list to send links to your blog to? I wanted to get into this because the best way to dive into marketing for your insurance agency is to think, okay, if I'm doing one thing, how can I make the most of that? So if we're talking about a blog article, how can you maximize the benefit of that, not just for SEO, but you want people to be interacting with that, to be engaged, to be reading your content, especially the people that you think will benefit from it the most. So for one example, you could, if you write a new blog, maybe set up a social media post and have that scheduled to go out and link to that blog article speaking to that, because again, you're getting more exposure to that blog article and brand awareness, and you're expanding your marketing might because you're branching out further than just blogging. You're using social media. um, Sending out emails would be great. You definitely want to make sure that the target audience makes sense. So obviously you would probably want to send email to your current book of business. And for example, if you are using Fuse marketing automation, you could set up a custom audience and target, hey, I want to target people that are under my book of business, that are active clients who have renter's insurance, and I can target just them to send them this interesting blog article about renter's insurance that might be valuable to them. And it's related because I can target them. Now, depending on what system you're using, that might be different, but there's no reason that you can't send out blogs through other methods that will really help you expand and get more traffic to your website, because again, traffic is important. If wherever people are coming from, Google is seeing that, okay, this website, your website is a trusted source of information because people keep arriving there and they're staying on your website longer.
Yeah,
So that's
they're
a great
engaged.
question, Juanita.
Yeah, very good question. Let's wrap this up because I know that we're a little bit over time. So Jolene just posted the link to the June promotion demo booking. So if you are interested in taking advantage of the June promotion for our websites, for the Forge website, and I'm trying to go back, but I can't for some reason. So I'm not going to try. But anyways, if you're interested in um, taking advantage of the June promotion that we listed for you, please feel free to use that demo link in order to book a demo with our team. Oh, there we go.
Man, it's
Finally figured it
15%
out.
off
I
monthly.
know. I'm trying to figure out where that was so that I can, there we go. Here, this is the promotion. So if you're interested in taking advantage of that, there's a link in chat that Jolene posted that you can click on and book a demo directly with our sales team. If you've also completed the poll, we will grab your name and hand it over to our team so that they can reach out to you and chat with you about different options. We have, options as low as I think, what does it start at? 140, Ian, per month. So there's definitely something for everyone. But I want to thank you all for joining us for this webinar. Ian, thank you for all of your expertise when it comes
Mhm.
to the SEO game. And Jolene, thanks for manning the chat. Great job on that. Next month, we have a really exciting webinar. I think it's going to be about our AI roadmap and all of the
Mhm.
exciting things that we're bringing to you through our products as it relates to AI. So lots of great stuff. You're not going to want to miss that one. So just be on the lookout for an announcement. But again, thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a great Thursday.